out of the last 2 weeks of this ladder series, and the top 3 seeds remain alive.
And 3 of the top 5 coming from Central Park Lanes in East Boston. We'll meet our second bowler today, Kevin Woodside, who, of course, eventually may go on. Don't know next week. Gary Santora will have something to say about that, to bowl Bruno DeFeo, also from East Boston and Central Park Lanes.
Let's meet our bowlers who will be vying for a spot in our championship match next week. Our number 3 seed, Gary Santora from Auburn, Massachusetts.
He had a great week last week, Dick, at 386, beating Ryan Feast, a newcomer to the show. 128 average for Gary Santora. High single 193. His high triple is 466. He bowls in 2 different leagues at Thunderbird Lanes in Auburn and Colonial in Worcester, Mass.
Gary rolled a 647 to earn his number 3 seed in this ladder series. 386 to 343 his margin of victory last week. He also won an extra $100 in bonus money. He will be taking on our 2nd seed, who rolled a 650 in the roll-off, Kevin Woodside from Winthrop, Massachusetts.
And this is his television bowling debut after taking a year off from bowling. Tried the qualifying rounds and was succeeded as seed number 2. All right, Kevin Woodside, 120 average, high single 183. His high triple is 440. And yes, our third of 3 bowlers at the Central Park Lanes in East Boston.
Mike Poulin, Joe Tavernese, and Scott Creighton have all earned a spot in our Tournament of Champions at the end of the year. One of these bowlers hopes to join them. They'll have Bruno DeFeo to take on next week if they survive this match this afternoon. Let's get right to it. It's Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire on WNDS TV. We'll be right back.
Candlepin Bowling is being brought to you by Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan and Rockingham Honda.
$100, $20, $40, $60, $80, $205. 6 months from now, you could have an extra $205 in your pocket, even more. The savings is yours to keep if you switch to First USA Platinum Visa at 3.9% APR for 6 months and transfer your high-interest balances.
The money we saved buys a lot of groceries.
How much would you save? With today's average credit card APR at 14.73%, transfer a $3,800 balance, your net gain just over $205. Transfer more, you'll save more.
We're ahead $400.
Goes towards our mortgage.
Every bit helps.
Your First USA Platinum Visa saves you money in more ways than one. There's no annual fee. And with a high credit limit up to $100,000, there's no need for those other cards or those other card fees. This Visa is the only one you need. It's accepted everywhere, for everything. One card plus one lower monthly bill equals more money for me. More money in your pocket. That's what this is all about. Transfer your high interest balances to our 3.9% APR for 6 months. The savings will add up faster than you think. It's cash you can spend on something you really need. Or dollars you save and don't spend at all. Be smart. Hold on to your money. You owe it to yourself. Call now and switch to First USA Platinum Visa and save 100, 20, 40, 60, 80.
Call 1-800-919-2606 now for your First USA Platinum Visa. Transfer your high-interest balances at 3.9% APR for 6 months, and you'll save money. Don't wait. Switch and save now.
We started the ladder series with 5 bowlers contending for a spot on the Tournament of Champions. Brian Feast beat Joe Stella in week 1. And it was Gary Santora eliminating Feast last week, setting up this afternoon's match with Gary Santora and Kevin Woodside. It'll be number 3 seed Gary Santora, the first to bowl. Gary starts out with a pocket shot and leaves the 4 and the 7.
And a piece of wandering wood that'll come a good
coming all the way back.
20 feet back from the deadwood line.
44-year-old Gary Santora from Auburn, Massachusetts. Not able to convert the spare. Gary, a system administrator for Stratus Computers in Maynard. And he'll start out with a 9 box. Gary's been on television 8 times over the years, 7 times on the Channel 50 Candlepin Stars and Strike show. The 1996 Massachusetts State Men's Classic Doubles winner with Rob Burkeel.
I believe I spotted him in the gallery today.
In the pocket, he takes a strike. Well, 2 good shots to start out with. He's not able to convert in the first frame, but he does strike in the second frame. Good mixing action for Gary Santora. And now our first look at Kevin Woodside, making his television debut here this afternoon. A couple of weeks ago, we saw the television debut of Brian Feast. And he started out with a 157 first string on his way to a 415 triple and a win in his first match. And now Woodside unable to mark in his first box. Kevin Woodside, 38 years old. Starts out with a 10. He is an 18-year veteran of the Boston Police Department. He works in Area A downtown. I asked him before the taping if there was anything exciting going on in Area A. He said, nothing I can tell you about right now. And he's in the 1-3 pocket there.
You've been picked up in Area A a couple times, haven't you? Does Deb know
Nothing
about
I can
that?
tell you about right now.
Good answer.
And the mark for Kevin Woodside to start out.
Aren't you amazed at the poise that these first-time bowlers can? I mean, we have a new bowler to television almost every ladder, it seems, and you keep looking for signs of jitters and nerves. You don't see it until you get up and talk to them afterwards, and they don't, I don't want to talk.
you expect him to take this. Gary Santora looking for 2 strikes in a row. You expect the new bowler to take a first ball on lane 33 and throw it on lane 34.
Yes.
Or 35.
Uh-huh.
And he takes the spare the hard way.
He was kind of lucky because he was off the mark on that.
Counts just the same.
Yes, it does.
Looks like a perfect shot in the scorebook.
So a shot at bonus money already in this young match.
And a good shot at it. And we're going to remove a piece of wood from out front. I believe it's Chris Bear will run down to take a look at it.
Going to be close. The deadwood line, I believe, is 15 inches this side of the head pin, and
Chris is out to remove the pin.
We don't show it to you on camera because we'd have to pay him extra money if that were the case.
Now for the mark, and $50 in bonus money for Gary Santora. So Gary's off to a warm start with 3 marks in 4 frames. Kevin Woodside working on a spare, missed the head pin, but got a good count with a 7.
Looks like the 1, the 2, and the 5 with wood in between, which should help him out.
And it does. 2 marks in a row.
Oh, he's not being bashful at all.
Trying for 3 in a row. Threw it in the pocket and left a split.
Well, this would be a great shot if it goes. It's the 3, the 6, and the 7 with some wood at an advantageous angle in front of the 3-pin.
Will it take it? No, just miss. Gave it a good run. $10, 54 for Kevin Woodside through 4.
Already,
Gary, go ahead.
5 marks between our 2 bowlers in 8 frames, so a good strong start.
Gary's working on 3 in a row. Gary Santora missed that one. He lost that one.
Yeah, held onto it and lobbed it.
3 pins to fill the spare. And a tough one for an extra $25 in bonus money. $10 for Gary Santora. Got a note from Alice and Al Goslin of Lynn, Massachusetts. They watch the show without fail each Sunday, as they watched the Don Gillis Show for 35 years. They just love Candlepin bowling. They even have the show sent to them while they're in Florida during the winter months. Keep up the good work, and they love it. He used to bowl where he worked in Cambridge at the Turnpike Bowlodrome. At that time, the president of the MBA was the proprietor of the alley, and he said they had hired an engineering firm to find out what alley owners could do to improve Candlepin scores. And they found out that even with a cannon delivering the ball each time, they still couldn't be assured of a strike each time.
I think I heard about that experiment, and I think they were able to bowl a 300 game with it, if it's the same experiment that I have heard about with a cannon, but maybe not.
Gary takes a 9, 79 for Gary. Too many variables, he said. It was about this time they put rubber bumpers on either side of the pin deck to increase pin action, and the plastic pins improved the scores that we know about. Still not as much. And you see the strike by Kevin Woodside. Didn't need any help there, did he? Watch it one more time. Kevin buries it right in the 1-2 pocket. Looking for 2 in a row. Trying to break up the split, a little body English.
Gotta love that wood. Although you'd rather have it on the other side of the 3-pin.
Gave it a run. Couldn't convert it.
Lively crowd on hand this afternoon to enjoy this match.
Al Goslin writes, as for a bowler continually wiping off his bowling ball, some alleys have been known to spray the plates with silicone, which has a tendency to increase pin action, but will get the balls greasy at times. We've talked about that in the past.
That's true. You can also tell very often at a silicone used bowling center, your pins might be a little bit dirtier because I think the static electricity tends to attract the dirt.
Gary Santora with the spare. His 4th mark of the first string.
386 last week for Gary Santora. Pretty close to a 129 average, and that's very, very close to his 128 combined league average.
Threw it to the left of the head pin, put 6 in the spare, and leaves the 4 horsemen on the right side. The 1, the 3, the 6, and the 10. Now the 3, the 6, and the 10 still stand. Take them one at a time. An 8 box for Gary Santora. He's at 103 through 8. Kevin Woodside, I mentioned an 18-year veteran of the Boston Police Department, and you have to like his ambition because at age 38, Kevin is attending Western New England College, the Malden campus. He is a sophomore majoring in criminal justice, continuing to advance his career in that field. Missed the spare.
Both these guys, excuse me, Dick, reasonably young. But there is a contingent of senior professional Candlepin bowlers that are out every month touring just like the WCBC. And for those who would like to watch some of the names you remember, I'm sure from the old Channel 5 show, Lakeside Bowl in Manchester, February 19th and 20th will be the site of the next Senior Professional Candlepin Bowling Association, which is located out of Edgartown, Mass. In the women's division back in November, we're a little bit behind here and the way the tapings work out. And by the time we get the information, Judy Witcher and Mel Adorado were tied for the women's lead and the victory there, and Alex Pendleton of Groton, Mass. won the men's division in the over 50 Senior Professional Candlepin Bowling Association.
8 box for Kevin. He's at 100. Just 3 pins separate these two fine bowlers. Gary Santora asked me to mention after his win last week that he plans to donate a portion of his winnings on Candlepin Stars and Strikes to the Firefighters Fund in Worcester. Gary, of course, being from Auburn, right outside of Worcester.
Well, let's hope he makes lots of money then.
Yeah, sure do. And, of course, don't have to remind you of the horrible fire in Worcester that claimed the lives of 6 firefighters back not that long ago.
Have you seen the actual cold storage building that...
I used to drive by it all the time. I haven't been by it since the fire,
I
though.
drove by there about a month ago, and it's a grim reminder of just the horrific tragedy in that community. So we thank Gary for his kind
being
efforts.
from Worcester. Have I ever mentioned that I was from Worcester?
Not in the last 10 minutes, but feel free.
Used to drive by that all the time.
Worcester is near and dear to your heart, is it not?
Always will be. Always be a part of me. There's a shot by Gary Santora.
Wow.
What a way to close out the first string. Watch this one more time. There it goes. It's that fast. Gary will try to fill the spare with a big count. That big. That's as big as it gets. That's a 133 first string for Gary Santora. Watch it again. This fills the spare with 10. 133, the first string for Gary Santora. Now Kevin Woodside tries to respond. Needs a break. The 1, the 7, and the 10 are still on the deck. There's wood aplenty. 3 pieces of wood.
So do you go left or right on the head pin here, Dick?
Either way. Throw it at the head pin and just keep your fingers crossed. That piece of wood on the right continues to roll back to the left. Got to get the head pin. That's key. And gave it a shot. After that, it's a guessing game. Hit the head pin and take your chances. And that'll be a 9 box for Kevin Woodside. He's at 109.
Still a mark and a good fill. Puts him just 4 or 5 pins behind Gary Santora. So a good debut again for another non-experienced bowler for television, Kevin Woodside.
Missed the head pin. 4 horsemen left side with a piece of wood. That helps.
It does, because very often that is the pin that won't go down if you hit between the 1 and the 3.
And you won't get it. Just missed it. A little too full on the head pin. He's at 117. It'll be a 117 first string for Kevin Woodside, and a lead of 16 pins for Gary Santora as we head to the middle string of this semifinal match on our 4th ladder series on Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV.
Cold, hard cash savings. That's what you'll get now at your Toyota dealer. Get savings up to $2,150 on Toyota Tacoma 4x4 pickups, or lease for just $209 a month for 36 months with $19.59 due at signing. Or get a Washington's birthday deal on a full-size V8 Toyota Tundra. Get your best Washington's birthday deal now at your New England Toyota dealer before cold, hard cash savings ends February 21st.
Looks like one vacation is just more fun. We guarantee it. Carnival, the most popular cruise line in the world.
About a year ago, Marge felt a lump in her throat every time she exercised. Her doctor ordered a series of tests. The results showed a 90% blockage to her heart's arteries. Dr. Sisto and his team performed bypass surgery the very next day and helped her make some important lifestyle changes. Today, Marge says her energy level is 1,000,000 times better. What a great story. The Heart and Lung Center at Portsmouth Regional Hospital. Total cardiac care, close to home.
Movies, movies, movies. WNDS has movies for you every night at 8. And if you know movies like we do, you'll love our Movies for Movie Watchers trivia contest. Watch WNDS Movie Watch every night at 8 for a new trivia question. Write the correct answer on a postcard, along with your name, address, and telephone number, and mail it to Movies for Movie Watchers, WNDS, 50 TV Place, Derry, New Hampshire, 03038. Viewers with the most correctly answered questions can win a brand new DVD player and fabulous other prizes. So get your postcards ready and watch WNDS's Movie Watch every night at 8 for your chance to win in the Movies for Movie Watchers Trivia Contest. Sponsored by these fine sponsors.
Kevin Woodside will be first to bowl in the second string as he trails Gary Santora by 16 pins. 133 to 117. And Woodside leaves the 4 horsemen on the right side with the wood placed between the 3 and the 6. Missed it. And that will be a 10 box for Kevin. Michael wanted to mention the passing of Vic Tatro, who was described in a Union Leader article as a legendary Candlepin star who was recently inducted into the Queen City Athletic Hall of Fame last June. Tatro is remembered for myriad bowling accomplishments, but he's best known for his World Championship performance against the great Charlie Jutras back in 1963. Tatro was also one of the great professional baseball players ever to play in the Queen City of Manchester. So our condolences to the family of Vic Tatro, legendary Candlepin bowler who passed away recently in New Hampshire.
You mentioned Charlie Jutras came in 3rd in the recent senior professional Candlepin bowling tournament. So Charlie is still active, and our condolences to the family. Well, there's Gary. Let one get away from him. Too far to the left-hand side, taking out the 4, 7, and the 8.
Watch out, watch out. 10 pin untouched. And that'll be a 9 box for Gary Santora. Every week we enjoy telling you about the Kahala Chinese Restaurant and Lounge right next door to Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. They have a wonderful luncheon buffet, a wonderful dinner buffet every Thursday and Sunday. Terrific specialties as well. How about strange flavor sliced chicken, tender chicken breast, pan fried with pea pods, baby corn, bamboo shoots, water chestnuts, and red pepper strips in the special Szechuan spicy sauce. Michael, I know you like it spicy too.
Oh, I do, Dick.
And that's one of the specialties at the Kahala, which is right next door to Leda Lane. So if you're shopping, if you're bowling, if you're traveling through the area, make sure you stop in and say hi at the Kahala Chinese Restaurant and Lounge, 350 Amherst Street in Nashua, right next door to Leda Lanes. Call 889-5200. That's 889-5200 for the Kahala. A lot of wood. Shout.
It didn't look missable.
Never a doubt, right?
Time now to get on a roll for Kevin Woodside, who lags behind Gary Santora. A couple of marks so far.
On the head pin. Needs to break up the split. Can't do it. Has some wood out there, which...
A lot of encouragement from his fans and friends in the stands. But really not an easy shot, Dick.
Left side of that front wood, it's got to do it. Deflect the ball over to the 8 pin. No, he's not playing it that way at all.
Now he will, and of course it'll go on the second try.
No, he didn't play it that way either. Took an 8 box. Gary Santora working on a spare. Thus far, we've only given away $50 in bonus money in the match, and we're trying to give away some more.
That's all you had to do. Mention it. Gary Santora coming close last week to hitting the triple strike jackpot for 9 1/4. This week, it's up to $950 for 3 consecutive strikes and $500 for every consecutive strike after 3.
Gary in the pocket.
Well, he moved the 5-pin over a little closer to the 2 and the 8, which is very helpful. Plus, he's got that wood right behind the 5 and the 8.
$50 shot right here. Count it up. Ooh, look at that.
Surprised everybody.
And Gary.
We had that one written down as a mark.
$10 for Gary Santora as we go to the break. Gary has the lead near the halfway point of the match as Candlepin Stars and Strikes continues from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire on WNDS TV.
He's shy.
Come on. No. Back to my place.
Reserved.
Can't you go any faster?
And always in control.
I'd like to see your driver's license and proof of insurance.
If he can drive women wild and his partner crazy,
I'll let you make 1, 2, 3, then go.
just think of what he can do to the bad guys. Mel Gibson.
I'm surprised you haven't heard about me.
Lethal Weapon 2.
Tonight at 8 on Movie Watch.
Law offices of Silva and Fortin, we will protect your rights. We will work with you to get what the law says you deserve. If you are the victim of medical malpractice, call the law offices of Silva and Fortin. If you have been hurt on the job or in a car accident, call attorneys Silva and Fortin. We care. We can help. We know how insurance companies work. We know how to get what you want. We don't get paid until you do. Protect your rights. Call the law offices of Silva and Fortin today.
Get the best selection and newest fabric styles ever at Ben Franklin Crafts Fabric Truckload Sale. Stock up on factory direct fabrics at incredible 99 cents a yard. There's thousands of fashion length yards to choose from in a variety of colors, patterns, and styles. Starting at only 99 cents a yard. Hurry, the Fabric Truckload Sale in soon. Value's good at Ben Franklin Crafts.
For crafts and floral, raving and fun, the fun's just begun at Ben Franklin Crafts.
If I get it right, I get to kiss you.
Love is blind, but our cameras aren't. Blind Date.
Weekday afternoons at 2 on WNDS.
Kevin Woodside will bowl next on lane 34 as we come back to action on Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Dick Lutzk with Mike Morin and our entire WNDS TV 50 crew. And Ray Simino and Sean Howard and the staff at Leda Lanes in Nashua. Our official scorer, Chris Bovair.
We have a wonderful junior program here. We've talked about it before, and for those of you that get the Nashua Telegraph cover story in their That's Life section a couple of weeks ago about Terry Belanger, who's been coaching kids here in Candlepin Bowling, including my daughter, many years ago, for better than 40 years. Very nice story. Actually, there's been some great coverage for Leda Lanes, their 40th anniversary recently. And then, of course, the story of Coach Terry Belanger. So go back into your archives. This was January 2nd of this year. Very nice story about Mrs. Belanger. I'm sure that if you grew up doing candlepins in Nashua, bowled at Leda Lanes, she was probably your instructor at one time.
Here's Kevin. Look at that shot. That's a big shot for Kevin Woodside. Watch it again. He played it perfectly with the wood. Gary missed the head pin. Is fortunate to come out as well as he did and actually has a makeable shot here with some wood that will help. Head pin is key. There it goes. He missed the 2-pin still standing. Thought he was going to make it. And that'll be a 10 box for Gary Santora. Gary and Michelle have been married almost 20 years. They were married in 1981. He lists his hobbies as hockey, golf, and water skiing.
And the 6-pin refusing to go down. was a beautiful, solid Brooklyn hit. Left side of the head pin.
The last ladder series that Gary appeared on, he was the top seed, and he lost to number 2 seed Joe Tavernese, 374 to 367. That was back in December of 1999.
So essentially, he's been on 2 consecutive ladders, punctuated only by the mixed doubles in between. And he was in the Tournament of Champions last year.
And vows to win it one of these years.
And I don't doubt him.
Nice shot. Will it go? No, it will not. And that'll be a 10 box for Kevin Woodside.
Gary was 5th seed last year in the Tournament of Champions and lost to Sean Baker after beating Steve Plant.
Kevin Woodside is married to Julie. He has 2 children, Kevin and Nicole. Kevin is 10 and Nicole is 5.
And I don't think they're here today. Could be wrong. I see a couple youngsters up front.
Yep. Kevin tried to play the wood. Watch out. Still could go. $10 for Kevin. He continues to pin well. He is at 90 through 8. Gary Santora on lane 34. Again, missing the head pin, but coming out of it okay with the 1 and the 10.
He hasn't been off the head pin too many times today, but when he has been, he's been way off to the left, holding onto the ball a little too long, I think.
Will it go? Watch the wood. Not going to happen.
2 pins fought each other to stay away from the 10 pin.
$10 for Gary Santora.
Got a note asking me to say hello to Joyce Handyside. Husband Robert and son Scotty are here today watching. How come Mom's not here? Bring her along next time.
Gary got another break on a mishit. Wood in front. Makes the spare.
Boy, the wood made all the difference on that one, because that's a near impossible shot without the wood.
So Gary stands to increase his lead over Kevin Woodside. Kevin needs a mark or 2 right here to stay within distance going to the 3rd string. He tried to mix up the wood and couldn't get a break. So he will be open in the 9th frame.
And some indecisive wood working its way over toward the 10 pin.
And it continues to roll, and Kevin continues to watch it.
Which is okay, because the last couple of weeks we've had 8 and 10 minutes at the end of the show. The bowlers were so fast. Look at that.
We'll go. Another 10 bucks. Nice shot for Kevin Woodside.
It was worth the wait.
Now Kevin bowls the 10th frame. Needs a mark. Watch the 7 and 10 go with the help of the wood, and the 10 pin kicks off the wall and trips over the 7. Missing the head pin again. The 1, the 8, and the 10.
Kevin analyzes these shots rather carefully.
Missed the head pin.
Oops.
He's at 108. It'll be 110. Finishing with 4 10s in a row. A 110 second string for Kevin Woodside. Now Gary Santora tries to put the hammer down. Gary missing the head pin, chopping through with a half Worcester, puts 2 in the spare. The 7-pin stands.
Our runner-up today wins $250. Our winner goes on to play Bruno DeFeo next week in the championship match, and our winner also receives a $50 gift certificate from Haverhill Beef Company on Merrimack Street, Haverhill, Massachusetts. They've been with us all season long every week. $50 to our top bowler. And you too can head over there and enjoy the fine selection of their great meats.
Gary Santora with a strike in the 10th frame. Watch it again in the 1-3 pocket. Good mixing action off the wall. Gary has a 25-pin lead in the match, plus what he gets on the next 2 balls. In the pocket again.
And that's what you get, a nasty 8-10 with no wood to help.
Put 9 in the spare. A 128 second string for Gary Santora. A 34-pin lead as we head to the final string of this semifinal match in our 4th ladder series on Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. We continue on WNDS TV.
The Lanes on Amherst Street in Nashua is home for family fun. With a brand new look inside and a clean, smoke-free environment, Leda Lanes has entertainment for all ages. There's bumper bowling, a video arcade, billiards, candlepin bowling, computer scoring, and of course, Kegler's Den. And don't forget, we have leagues for all ages and all levels of play, plus affordable birthday parties that are a blast for everyone. Leda Lanes, 340 Amherst Street in Nashua. Open 9 a.m. to midnight, 365 days a year.
Precise detailing, fine wood. Let Kindlin Woodworking in Derry, New Hampshire build the next piece of furniture for your home or office. Tom Kindlin and his staff pride themselves on building just what their customers want. They'll take your ideas from sketch to computer to reality. Plus, see their showroom full of the finest entertainment centers, wall units, tables, almost anything. If you can think it, they can build it. Kindlin Woodworking, 2 miles south of the Derry Rotary on Rockingham Road in Derry, New Hampshire.
If you would like to participate in Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV, there is a way for you to do it, the bonus ball contest. Send your name, address, pick a number from 0 to 10. Mail to Leda Lanes, 340 Amherst Street, Nashua, New Hampshire, 03063. After every match, we will draw a postcard from the bin, and the winning bowler will bowl the ball. We'll try to match you up with the winning bowler, and if the numbers match, you'll win the cash prize. Otherwise, you win a consolation prize from N&R Trophies in Winchendon, Massachusetts. It's the bonus ball contest, Leda Lanes, 340 Amherst Street, Nashua, 03063. Gary Santora will bowl first as we start the 3rd and final string of this match at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Gary with a rather comfortable 34-pin lead, but nothing is ever too comfortable.
Now, Kevin Woodside hasn't really gotten on track and let loose yet. He could very well be ready to do that.
But Gary Santora starts off with a spare, so no matter what Kevin does, if Gary throws marks at him, it's tough to dig into that lead.
Academic. This has been Gary's good lane the last couple of weeks, lane 33.
Not there.
No.
A deuce in the spare.
And again, his tendency to go left when he's errant at all, it's always to the left, and with disastrous results.
A 9 box for Gary Santora, 21 through the first 2. Now Kevin Woodside needs to start climbing that mountain and throwing some marks back at Gary Santora. That's one way to do it with a pocket shot, but a solid 8-pin still remains. And I mean solid. That didn't move an iota. Missed it. $9 for Kevin Woodside to start out.
Well, the good news is he only lost 3 pins in that frame because Gary Santora only filled with a 2 on his spare. So it could have been a lot worse.
Right in the pocket again. Another 9-pin drop. This time there's some wood out in front.
Of course, that's the extra 9 pins he would have had on a spare that would have made almost a third of that margin back that he began this game with, minus 34.
Right at the pin for the spare. So Kevin starts to climb back. He needs to mark. Gary Santora. Right in the pocket. We saw Gary last week in the match with Brian Feast. When Feast started to come back, Gary answered with a couple of marks of his own.
And the 10-pin is down in the 3rd frame for Gary Santora. Not doing anything flashy, but he's consistent for the most part. Maintains a comfortable margin as he did last week over Brian Feast, and it was a comfortable margin of victory for him.
Gary knows he got a break that time. He looked up at the bowling gods, who smiled down on him, gave him 8 in the spare and a spare opportunity, which he will not take advantage of.
And that's when you really feel bad.
The bowling gods giveth and the bowling gods taketh away.
Do they ever.
$10 for Gary.
Had a great opportunity for Kevin Woodside now to make up a little bit of ground. Time is running out.
A couple of marks here would go a long way to making the last 6 boxes interesting. Missed the head pin. The 1, the 2, and the 10. Well, the 2 and the 10 are gone, but the 1 pin still stands. A mark here is almost essential. Again, he leaves himself a tough split.
No wood to help. It's a cut shot or a bank shot. Your choice.
He's going to try and cut it, but not successfully. He'll give him some more ground to Gary Santora. We go to the break. A 38-pin lead in the match for Gary Santora over Kevin Woodside. 6 boxes remain as we continue from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire on Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV.
Candlepin Bowling is being brought to you by Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan and Rockingham Honda.
The Shipe family is now celebrating 100 years of serving the New England area with the finest in quality window fashions. Shipe's features an incredible array of ready-made curtains, matching bed ensembles, verticals, mini blinds, and pleated shades, and one of the area's finest selection of shower curtains and bath accessories. So we invite you to drop in and you'll be delighted with the best little curtain shop in New England, where there is always something on sale.
Hi, I'm Joe from Haverhill Beef Company, and I have the answers to your questions. Yes, that's my real family. No, that's not my kitchen, that's a TV studio. And I still can't figure out this new math. At Haverhill Beef Company, for over 40 years, we've been selling choice beef, grade A, poultry, pork, lamb, and veal, giving you the quality and the service that you deserve. And now we're going to help make someone's homework easier. Come on down to Haverhill Beef Company today and enter for your chance to win a beautiful personal home computer. The drawing will be March 4th. Enter today.
For quality pets and supplies, come to the Critter Stop and see the difference.
It's time to change that old floor in your house, and come see us at Onco Flooring, where we have low pricing and personalized service.
For your big kid toys and your floral needs, come to Country Kayaks and He Loves Me Florist in our new location.
Hello, I'm Kevin from Kicker's Restaurant. Come on in for home-style breakfast and lunch, open 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And it's all at the Hillside Plaza, 1.5 miles south of the Derry Rotary on Route 28 in Derry, New Hampshire.
Gary Santora set to bowl on lane 34 in the 5th frame of the 3rd string, and he carries a 38-pin lead in the match over Kevin Woodside. And Gary hits the head pin a little bit too full and can't bust up the split.
7th annual Rock and Bowl coming up Sunday, February 27th at Pilgrim Lanes. It's a fundraiser for the massive trip of young junior bowlers out of the Pilgrim Lanes. Tony Marie Baldinelli every year organizes it and gets everybody, along with a lot of her assistants. They head up to Canada for a fun weekend of bowling. I've been on that trip. It is a great time for chaperones and bowlers alike. It's a long bus ride up there, I can tell you that much. But this year, to help, as they always do, it's Rock and Bowl on Sunday the 27th from 9 a.m. till 1 p.m. A lot of the professional bowlers you see on Candlepin Stars and Strikes will be there bowling with you. There'll be some raffles, a bake sale, and it's kind of a grassroots fun day for you to mingle with the bowlers that you see every week, including Tony Marie Baldinelli herself. Gary Carrington will be there. The Morgans, Mike and Tom, Marianne and Dave Kelly. I'm sorry, Bob Kelly. Also Joanne Rosano, you saw her on our mixed doubles a couple of weeks ago. Joe Tavernese, who's in the Tournament of Champions this year. Dave Richards and his wife Beth. Jeff Atkins, Mary Wall. Also Jack Ray, Glennis Hickey, Sean McKinley. Have I forgotten anybody? Bart Medeiros also will be there. All great names from Candlepin Stars and Strikes. And we'd love to have you come by. Dick Lutz can be a part of it. I'll be, well, if you come by, we'll co-host.
I was going to say,
what do you say?
Is that an opportunity for us to go head-to-head?
I would say that might be a very good opportunity because we will get you down there bowling. I always end up bowling with the professionals as well to help them with their self-esteem.
Because I'm ready to put you in your place. You know that, don't you?
Well, if that's what it's going to take.
I'm going to try to make it. That's the 27th of February.
Yep. They're trying to raise $30,000. Of course, they won't do it all in one day, but this will be a major part of their funding for better than 200 children and a few adults for that big weekend in Canada.
I'll be trying to recuperate from celebrating my birthday, which is the day before.
And mine is that day, the 27th. So we'll celebrate.
What a party.
Yeah. Sunday the 27th, Pilgrim Lane.
There's the strike for Kevin. The long-lost strike comes back for Kevin Woodside. Now Gary Carrington's working. Gary Santora. You mentioned Gary Carrington. That was in my mind. Gary Santora works to fill a spare, and he puts 9 in it.
Looked like it could have been a strike, but the 5-pin didn't go.
And it doesn't go there either.
My.
He knew it was that way. He knew the wood was set up in such a way that it was going to cause a problem. A 9 box.
A little bit frustrated. Kevin Woodside's going to nearly have to run it off the sheet here to win this game, but he is on a strike.
Another backdoor fill for Gary Santora. Wasn't filling a spare, but setting up a spare, giving him an opportunity off of what was not a very good shot. Now trying to play the wood. There it is. The spare for Gary Santora. Wasn't pretty, but he'll take it. Now Kevin's working on a strike. Kevin Woodside. That one got away from him.
Well, no damage done. He was on a strike. But this is not an easy spare. 4 and the 7 all that went down. Look at that.
Who says it's not an easy spare?
I think he would tell you it's not an easy spare.
Now a chance for some bonus money for Kevin Woodside. In the pocket, doesn't get a lot to show for it.
They'll need to make this to have any chance, and even then, it's a very slim one.
No, the wood got in the way. Instead of helping, it was a hindrance. And a 10 box. And the math becomes difficult for Kevin Woodside, if not impossible. Gary Santora filling a spare with a 7 at least. Still 7 as that 6-pin wobbles.
And it appears as though Gary Santora will be in his 2nd consecutive championship match. Ladders 3 and 4 should he prevail today, and it looks like he will. He lost to Joe Tavernies last time. He'll go up against Bruno DeFeo next week.
Missed the spare.
Barring a complete collapse and a miraculous finish by Woodside. I cover all my bases there.
10 box for Santora. He's at 112 with a box to go. Right on the head pin, full, breaking up the split. A mark here could mathematically do the trick. There's the mark.
And that's it. $250 for Kevin Woodside for his very first television appearance.
Gary Santora closes with a 7 to fill the spare and a 129. 3rd string and mathematically closing out Kevin Woodside. It's impossible to get 63 pins in 2 frames.
Unless I mess up on the scoreboard, which has been known to happen.
Now you root for Kevin to get some bonus money in the last couple of boxes.
And this is very doable, especially with that wood. It's the 2 and the 7.
Not going to happen. It's 110 for Kevin. He is at 337. That was a 390 triple for Gary Santora, by the way. Not too shabby, by the way.
Very close to last week's 386. He's been very, very consistent. He'll need it all, maybe, and then some against Bruno next week. Bruno DeFeo.
A 119 for Kevin Woodside. A 346 triple. The win for Gary Santora. He advances to the championship match against Bruno DeFeo next week in our finals of this ladder series. We're going to come back to meet the bowlers when we continue with Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire on WNDS TV.
Today I took diving lessons from the experts and found a buffet filled with all my favorite foods. Chocolate. I caught a Broadway show 200 miles at sea. Today, I danced on water.
As far from the everyday as a ship can take you. That's the Norwegian way. Norwegian Cruise Line.
Get the best selection and newest fabric styles ever at Ben Franklin Craft's Fabric Truckload Sale. Stock up on factory direct fabrics at incredible 99 cents a yard. There's thousands of fashion length yards to choose from in a variety of colors, patterns, and styles. Starting at only 99 cents a yard. Hurry, the Fabric Truckload Sale ends soon. Value's good at Ben Franklin Crafts.
For crafts and floral, raving and fun, the fun's just begun at Ben Franklin Crafts.
The law offices of Silva and Fortin. We will protect your rights. We will work with you to get what the law says you deserve. If you are the victim of medical malpractice, call the law offices of Silva and Fortin. If you have been hurt on the job or in a car accident, Call attorneys Silva and Fortin. We care. We can help. We know how insurance companies work. We know how to get what you want. We don't get paid until you do. Protect your rights. Call the law offices of Silva and Fortin today.
Hey man, where are you buying your next bike?
At Mom's, of course. Motorcycles of Manchester. Your #1 dealer of new and used bikes. Right now, Mom's has all makes of used bikes dirt cheap. Mom's will also buy your bike if your mom makes you sell it. They have lots of accessories. And, of course, helmets are always up to 50% off. So if you need a bike, go see Mom. Motorcycles of Manchester. 98 Willow Street, Manchester.
Cold, hard cash savings. That's what you'll get now at your New England Toyota dealer. But you have to hurry. Savings up to $1,500 on Camry. Or get special Washington's birthday financing now. Financing as low as 3.9% APR. Don't wait. Get your best Washington's birthday deal now at your New England Toyota dealer before cold, hard cash savings ends, February 21st.
Gary Santora advances with a 390 to 346 win over Kevin Woodside in this afternoon's match, and he moves on to the championship match next week against Bruno DeFeo.
Yeah, nothing really splashy the last couple of weeks by Gary Santora, but good enough to get the job done. All 6 strings, Dick, over the last couple of weeks have been between 118 and 139, showing you how consistent he's been with average very close to 130, 129 or so.
386 last week, 390 this week. We'll see what he does next week. Let's bring on the runner-up this afternoon, Kevin Woodside. From Winthrop, Massachusetts. Kevin, congratulations. First time on TV. I've got to ask you, what makes you more nervous, being on television for the first time or working in Area A in downtown Boston?
Probably being on TV for the first time, yeah. The other stuff goes pretty smooth downtown. But,
it was an interesting experience, I'm sure, for the first time. What was it like for you? Was it what you thought it would be?
Hot under the lights, basically.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too bad.
Took a little getting used to?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I'll give it a check for $250. That'll help you get used to it a little bit more, and hope to see you again soon. Kevin Woodside.
See you later, Kevin.
Our runner-up here this afternoon. And now we'll play the bonus ball contest, a chance for you at home to win some money. We have $40 in cash in the bonus ball jackpot, and our winner, Gary Santora, will roll a ball and we'll try to match it up with a winner at home. Gary, go ahead. It is an 8.
All right. I think we can do this.
You think so?
I think we can get an 8 today.
Well, close your eyes.
All right, turn
Look
around.
Back that way. Make sure it's not
That's
rigged.
Right. How's my bald spot look?
Yeah. Your bald spot's getting bigger all the time, pal. Here we go. Did we get a winner? We did not get a winner. We have Mr. Emil Gagne of Gardner, Massachusetts, or Gagne, depending on your point of view. What do you think he chose? No, 8's what was knocked down. What do you think he chose? 7 is a consolation prize from N&R Trophies in Winchendon, Massachusetts for Emil Gagne of Gardner, Massachusetts, and 10 free strings of bowling for Mary Bartone of Canton, Massachusetts. So congratulations to Mary as well. Let's bring Gary Santora up. And Gary, congratulations to you. Another $50 gift certificate from Haverhill Beef and a visit to the championship match, which is not strange territory for you. You've been there before.
A couple of times. Hopefully the result this time will be better than last time.
Are you less nervous being in a championship match because you've been there before?
A little bit, but I haven't really been that nervous in the entire time I've been on here.
Mike talked about your consistency. 386 last week, 390 this week. A very consistent effort on your part. That has to be a pretty good thing for you.
Yeah, but I think this week had a little more luck involved than last week.
You did get a couple of lucky falls.
Oh, yeah. Took advantage of them, though.
That's a good thing to do, too. Gary, congratulations to you. We'll look forward to seeing you. We had some bonus money, I think, for you, too. $50 in bonus money this week as well. Gary Santora will be in the championship match next week.
All right.
Against top seed Bruno DeFeo.
Yes. Now, Bruno DeFeo lost to our top seed in the Tournament of Champions, Mike Poulin, back in October. So both these men have been close but haven't tasted victory. One of them will next Sunday.
386 last week. 390 this week. Consistency been the mark for Gary Santora. We'll see how he does next week as he tries for a spot in the Tournament of Champions, taking on top seed Bruno DeFeo. For Mike Morin and our entire WNDS TV 50 crew, I'm Dick Lutz. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time on Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV.